In the Ottawa Valley, there is a story. Not a story of action or comedy, though it does tell of earthen adventures and laughter-filled moments. It is not a story that can be told by just one person. Rather, it is a story deeply embedded in the fabric of the land itself, told by the ones who've been privy to its tale. It is told by rock and river, tamarack and poplar, by muskrat and butterfly, and human. In times long ago, before there was Lanark County, there were the Algonquins. They were a group of people that lived largely in harmony with the natural land, meaning that much of the land currently occupied by farmers was not being used the way it is now. However, the mid to late 1800s saw the arrival of the French, followed by the English, and the occupation of land that had previously been free of human influence. Land in the Ottawa Valley was sectioned off and given to European settlers from Scotland, Ireland, and England. One of these properties was Windstone Farm. Gary McEwen, a local resident and neighbor of Windstone Farm, gave some insight into the social history of the land. He began by talking about the experience of the first settlers to the valley, and what the land would have been like for them.
Well, it was solid bush. They had to open up the bush, they cut all the trees and take all the stumps out and all the stones before they could plant one seed, because it was solid. Just right-of-ways, like up and down each concession, and people came here, and I guess the government awarded each immigrant a plot of land, which was, I think, 200 acres. I guess that's, what do you call that, progress? Not really progress.
At Windstone, the front half of the property is used as farmland, while the back half is not. Gary explained.
It's solid, flat rock. It's only that much soil over top of the rock, and then there's a strip of swamp too, so you can't farm that. It's good pasture land though, for cows and horses in the summertime. But this is tillable. All this front area here is all tillable land, so that's where you grow your crops. Notice when you come in the laneway, that's all swamp too. It's too low to farm.
Gary also spoke about some of the activities that used to take place at Windstone.
Blacksmith shop over here, it was in full use. Cameron's father, Alan Stewart, was an old man when I was a kid, and he lived to be about 98 or 100, and he was over there all the time, making stuff, building stuff. Very, very ingenious people lived here. And they had a steam engine here too that run the shingle mill, and old Alan Stewart would repair a lot of farm equipment for the local farmers here too. But it was a pretty elaborate shop, like for a day, like I'm talking like way before there was any electricity here.
He also mentioned a natural spring that still exists at the end of the laneway.
And there was a cup hanging on the fence there. And you'd have a drink of water every time you come up the laneway, because it was bubbling out of the ground.
Gary noted some changes to the flora of the area that he has observed over his lifetime in the Ottawa Valley.
The thing that's not here anymore hardly is the elm trees. And there used to be beautiful, massive elm trees around, like in people's yards and along the fences, like beautiful big trees. And they're pretty nearly all. There's a few left, but Dutch elm disease,
He mentioned that though deer and foxes have always been present, wolves and coyotes that are now seen regularly did not used to occupy this area. One introduced species that came to mind immediately for Gary were wild turkeys.
Actually, there's wild turkeys here. There didn't used to be, but they introduced them, and there's lots of them here now. But when I was younger, there wasn't no such a thing.
Beavers are also recent additions to local fauna and pose a problem for farmland irrigation.
Beavers now. And there wasn't any when my dad was a young lad. I owned a nice bush over here, Santa Poplar. Then they got in there and they've cut most of the poplars all down, so they're all lying crisscross dead over there. It was a beautiful grove of poplars, and they moved in there. And I didn't know they were there. And it only happened in 1 year, or one summer. It's what it is, it's nature.
Many forests and wetland areas have been lost or fragmented, and the introduction of non-native flora and fauna has resulted in the vast spread of invasive species, many of which still impact local wildlife today. Detailed maps have been developed over the last 3 years. In the beginning, there were some satellite images and a simplistic watercolor design. Using drone footage, a second, more detailed draft was constructed. Now, each of the ecosystems present on the property have been identified and consolidated online as a current depiction of the land. Through the cartographic process, it has been a beautiful thing coming to know the story of this land more intimately and creating maps that represent current data. The story of Windstone is told by nature. The property hosts all sorts of ecosystems, like field, forest, and marsh, as well as rare formations of flat rocky expanses called alvars. I love taking time to stop and pay attention to the tiniest details of the land. And it's beautiful to watch things change with the seasons. It's so important to watch and listen to the land. But the story of Windstone is not only about the environment, it's about the people. They live life with integrity and authenticity and radiate a God-honoring attitude toward all of creation. Throughout the week, friends constantly come and go, filling the house with the warmth of community. Windstone has become a hub for local activity and connection. And I can't forget the four-legged friends at the farm. The farm is adorned with untamable shrubs and tangled raspberry bushes, vibrant goldenrod and muted pine needles, still waters and chirpy yellow warblers, but also with people. Despite various changes in the landscape over just a short history of time, the value of a home-cooked meal with eggs from the barn and salad from the garden is bringing the community of the Ottawa Valley together at Windstone. Though I know not the answer to whether the changing landscape is fully positive or fully negative, I do think people are important, and the people of Windstone are beautiful. One thing is clear, the story is still being written, by the plants and the animals and the people.